Okay, yo, so we are flying with Bitcoin at the moment. Not too sure whether that music's a bit too loud, so I'll just turn that down. Okay, yeah, so some nice trades over the past few days, man, across the board. Okay, let's get into it. So, we've got Bitcoin up. Let's just get the chat up for a second. So let's just go over a few things. So let's get this one out of the way first. GBP had some divergences across the 4 hour, and let's just pull the chart up. So I've got a 4 hour chart here. So yeah, I was just looking across forex pairs, and they've been running for quite a few days now. USD, JPY, gold. Oh dear, that's a mess. Okay, well, let's just try and work through it. In fact, I've got a screenshot. Yeah, so that's what I was looking at. Two dojis there. So in that, it's inside bar doji, divergence, and obviously this run down. And look at that, man. So that inside bar worked out nicely, just poked out, had a bit of consolidation, and then rode up 200 pips, man. 4 days. That was nice. Unfortunately, I didn't trade it. But you know, we're gonna keep our eye on these forex pairs now. There could be some nice moves happening in the next few weeks, so stay tuned. Okay, so what else we got going on? Let's have a look at the previous trades here. So we've got top left daily. So we you know, he was breaking out to the upside on the map, and we had the divergence on the Overwatch. You know, very like a long time. This is giving you on the daily to almost be prepared. You know, this turns green. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's about 7 candles before we can start to trade it, and that just works out perfectly. Look, let me just zoom in. So I could do a market replay on this and just show this, maybe on another video, but we've got you know, coming down into this area. It's printed the it's come into the the Overwatch boundary. Man, literally in the corner of my eye, all I can see is these charts moving up, and you know, I'm hopefully expecting a move down soon, and I'll just go over that in a second. I mean, first of all, just look at that 5 minute, that session high. Let me just mark this up, and then we can go through this quickly. We've got these delta crosses right up here, right at the session high there. So we'll just draw these. We'll just draw this on. So really, you know, I'm expecting that to hold. We've got divergences here. Well, I wouldn't say divergences up on the chart, but you know, they're even. So we've got this peak here. And these big triangles are the things that stick out to me. So these green triangles means that there's buying volume coming in, and as you can see, it's moving in. That's why there's a big black cross there as well. So you know, I really like a move down soon, and then we can start to build positions. And that's another thing I want to talk about today is advanced money management. Okay. I mean, the only problem I'm seeing is it's grinding upwards, man, and when it grinds upwards, it's usually just gonna work its way up. So just keep an eye on it. But look on every chart. So we got here big green triangle, big green triangle. There's been some kind of capitulation. Okay, so what I was saying was the Mac flips, okay, to the upside here, and as this has come down, it's come out of the Overwatch, it's printed a where's that divergence gone? There's a divergence somewhere. Maybe it's on the 4 hour, but it's come down, had a double bottom. You could just square that off. It's come into that area, double bottom, and that's look at that. It's perfect. Just as the mat changes, it's had a couple of times inside bar. You know, spinning top candles, and then boom. And then even if you miss that move, you've got a Fibonacci here coming down into that 88.6 and then coming up and hitting the first targets, and that's on the daily. So very tasty. So that's what we're looking at on the daily, and we've got the MAC just turned to the upside of the 0 line, which is very cool. Very cool. It's still charging towards that block. So let's get this out of the way. So really, what I wanted to talk about today is these Overwatches are coming to the upper boundaries now on these intraday time frames. So, you know, I don't really feel comfortable taking any more long positions. I mean, I was taking some long positions late last night, and it was a little bit troublesome sleeping. So, Overwatch, there's a boundary slight touch, and I'm looking at this 4 hour charts. Let's just extend these charts out a bit. So this has gone from the lower boundary there, it's come up, worked its way through the MA, bounced a few times off the MA, and now we've got a almost like a divergence there and a divergence up here. We've got the MAC moving up, and I mean that's peaking out at the top here. Oh. It's peaking out at the top. We've peaked out here, it's coming to the top there, so we'll have to just relax. And you can see here as well, it's basically a deviation. Okay, so I'm not going to say it's not going to move higher, but the thing is positioning yourself here is going to be awkward. I'm going to go through a few techniques in a moment to manage that, so stay tuned. So that's a 4 hour, you know, all is up, all is green, feels nice, feels nice. Okay, so the 1 hour. Now this is where it does get interesting, because I mean look at that triangle there. So just a quick look at this triangle. Okay, this is almost like an accumulation, because this comes up, and just at that peak here, okay, it's accumulated all those, all these. Let's just say, let's just call them contracts for now. It's all been accumulated, and then just after it peaks up, it dumps. And it's basically just eating all those traders. Stop loss under here, drop below, and look what's happened after. And I think I talked about this in a previous video or live stream, or I think it was just in the group, watching these big triangles come in, it's coming down towards the bottom here, and then this big triangle comes in at the bottom, and it's accumulated it all and trapped all the traders and then gone on its way. Okay, so we've had the we're almost coming up to the top here. I mean, I'm going over the same things here, but just in detail. So we're coming to the top here. One thing that sticks out is if MAC has turned red, and as you can see, it's red, green, and it just gives me an insight into what to prepare for. So here we can see the divergence in a bit more detail. You can see this trend line kind of moving up, especially with the candle closures, and then Overwatch downside, MAC turn to downside. If we see this Overwatch turn again down past that MA, game time. I mean, you can short it, but not a big shorter. Right, okay, so we're coming up to 12 minutes now. Let's just whip through these last charts. Right, so now moving on to the 15 minute, we've got a bit of a different, clearer picture here. Okay, so Trendmaster Ripple, blue, session high. Got the session high here, and it's just been pipped there. Okay, late last night it was pipped and then moved down to the session low. Let's just put that session low on there, and it's been ranging, and we're back at that session high now. Okay, so I mean, if you're going to take a short anywhere, you can take a short here. Let's just put a little something on there. This is just a sim account, but you get to see what the deal is here. You can adjust your ATM. Let's just put 10 in there, and we'll sell that right at the top. It's just peaking up at the top there, so we'll just put that on. See the position there, adjust your stop loss above the session. Okay, we've got a shark in there. Oh, it's just shot past it, come back down. Let's just put another 10 in there in that shark, and then what we can do is we can just split your stop loss and move that a bit closer to there. I think it's a bit too close actually. Alright, cool, well we'll not spend too much time on that. But you get the picture, is that, we've just been sitting there, it's literally peaking at the top of that session high now. And it's not at the top really, but it's very close. And then we start to build the position, and then let's say it starts moving in our direction, you can add to it. Look at that big green triangle coming in there. So now we're in profit. Okay, cool. So you could just go on, hit 1k. Go on, lad. So that's pretty much how cool it is on Ninja Trader. How quick to place the trades, add into position, and then almost scalp in and out instead of just waiting for the price to hit a level, and then it hits the level, and then you calculate your stop loss, you've entered the trade, and then all of a sudden it's just carried on straight through the stop loss or something like that. Is you can scalp in and out of positions, scaling in, scaling out, depending on the price action, and it's a lot more risk free. So as you see there, we've price has moved into the area, it's moved away, we've took a trade, we've took the profits, and then it's potentially moved back up, retracing. I'd find that at some stage when this retraces up and the profits go out the window, I'm a little bit frustrated, so just scooping some profits in at that bottom level, coming back up, potentially entering again, or just wait. And it just depends on what type of character you are, and you can see how you react emotionally to these moves that you make, and adjust moving forward. So, top of the session high, three black crosses now on the 5 minute. So what does that mean? That means it's coming to that area. Large orders have come in at that point. Very large orders, very quick orders. You can see the number just at the side, which signifies a strength. If it's black, it's down. If it's up, it's blue. And down on these range charts, you can see more blue crosses, but it signifies a different chart kind of setting. So these bottom charts are range charts, kind of Renko charts, and the crosses are programmed to the chart. And then the time charts, the crosses are the same, but obviously they're time dependent as well. So we've got 3 there. Cool. So yeah, let me just signify this very quickly, because this is quite important. I'm looking at this now. So we've got 3 black crosses, top of the session, divergence, big deltas there, and then when we look at the trade that we've taken, so that's all for these charts now. There's no point in really going through the 1 minute chart. It's a little bit messy, and these range charts, in fact, let's just have a quick look at this 610. You can see we've moved up here to this peak session high, and then we've tried to work our way up. Next peak is here, and then if we just drag this across, we've had 1, 2 above it, move down, big blue cross, which signifies it's the volumes come back in the market, and then it's coming up to that level. I mean, shit, we could see another peak up to that diamond. And the diamond's gone. It's just, this is zoomed in, it's just disappeared. Okay, well, all good. Okay, so that's that. Let's pull up these trading view charts and just have a quick look at the trade setup. Oh, there she goes. There she goes. It's hitting on the diamond there. Okay, peeking out session. Look at that big green triangle again. Should we go? I'm tempted to just build something up here. Let me just get rid of these, because I'm going to build this.
Order cancelled.
This position. Another red.
Order
again.
Order
I need
cancelled.
to just take these other orders off. Okay, cool. So we just let that play off for a minute. Okay, so we had this trade set up, this Fibonacci. I didn't really share it. I'm not really in the. Oh wow! Okay, look at that! Bam! Okay, you see that there? That green triangle. As that come in, we traced up. Green triangle, add in. Bam! Look at that! Cool. Alright, cool.
Order pending.
Whenever I start trading these sim accounts, just get so wrapped up in it. Okay, so what was I looking at? I was looking at this Fibonacci. Okay, moves up down to the let's just call it the optimal entry area. Okay, and then starts firing away. First, second, third. Well, nearly every single target up to the 100 extension. Okay, and then literally the following day. Okay, look at that coming in there. Come off the flipping charts. Okay, so the following night, literally, it was like 24 hours. It's retraced down, moved up, and then had another retrace down, and then I shared it when it was pretty much, retraced at that point. So where are we? Oh, I don't think it's on this computer. So sometimes it's good to get in the group, guys, and get active, because I'm sharing this and there's literally nobody in here, and it's getting to the point now where I can't ignore it. But wham! So deja vu. It's very simple. There's everything's up, Trendmaster, Overwatch, everything's ready to go. And not to mention retesting the high of that, coming into that level and moving up. We had some profit taking on shorting just at the top there, which looks almost like a shooting star there. And then this impulse move making a new high, that was another retracement, another fib entry, and that was bang on, nailed that as well. And then it's moving up to the top targets. So let's just wrap this up now with the with what I'm looking at here. We've had a divergence on this first one. Okay, so look at the top of the Overwatch, we've had a divergence. We haven't had a penetration, but there was a divergence, and that had a move down. Now that move down resulted in hidden bullish, sorry. And as you can see with this peak, this hasn't gone any lower than the previous peak, so that's a hidden bullish divergence. Move back up, touch the Overwatch boundary, another divergence. Look, so this peak, divergence there. Okay, it's had a move down, move back up, which was the trade. And look, so if I just extend that out, we've got 3 peaks, lower lows, 3 peaks, higher highs, simple, retracement down. That's probably why I'm on short in there. Risky, man, I gotta admit. But when we add in another Fibonacci there, okay, you'll see there around the 78.6 level, coming up first targets, second targets, and it hasn't touched the third target yet. Okay, so there's like fib on fibs there. It's a little bit messy, but you can see what I'm getting at. So this third peak, when we're hitting these targets here, okay, we've had 1 peak. Let me move this out of the way. So guys, 1 peak, okay, 1 peak there, 2 peak, 3 peak, in fact 4 peak, and look at these, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, all to the downside. All it takes is 1 pink candle, bang, they're all trapped. Alright, so this is what I mean about it's not worth it, but, let's just go over some techniques now, some advanced money management techniques. I've been really working on these formulas and just almost like bamboozling my brain at what the options are. I mean, I'm starting to realise now you don't need to enter a position and then calculate your stop loss and all that stuff. It's like a trick. Let me go over this. Okay, so let's say we've got this Fibonacci trade setup that we're going to look for now. So the yellow boxes, okay, are going to represent the fib leg, okay, and then after the yellow box we're looking for that retracement. So we've I measured this one. Okay, this was the retracement. Just put a line just to tidy all this up. So you've got one move here. And once I get through this, it's gonna make everything so clear when you you know, you'll be like, what the hell, is this real? No, can't be real. Okay, so we've got potential three fib moves here. Okay, now we're looking for that next fib move. So I'm just going to move this to here. Okay, and we're going to say, okay, we're looking for this next fib retracement area. Now, it could be that, you know, we've had 3 fib moves now, but the actual, what we may see is a big fib retracement of all 3 here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to adjust this. Okay, so we can expect either a fib move of this one. Okay, so you can label out these fib levels. Let's just put a box around the I'm just trying to work out which of this. Let's just do this for now. Okay, so we've done that, and then we'll measure the whole move. So almost like these 3 impulse moves, we're gonna figure a retracement coming into this area. Okay, so we'll just clone this, and then we'll look for the same area. So we've got 61.8 there to the 78.6. And then what else I'm going to do, I'm going to put this 88.6 level on, because I do like that level. Okay, so we're prepping now for these this move. We're getting ready. We're kind of saying, okay, this is where we're looking to go now. And if it does, then we'll be doing X, Y, Z, which I'll just get into in a second. Okay, so let me just remeasure this one at the top here. Okay, we've got 88.6. Okay, cool. So we can measure these if we want. Sorry, we can label these up if you want. But I know which one's which. In fact, let me just do it just for streaming purposes. So you got 88.6 third drive, which is this one. And then we've got 88.6. And you've got 88.6 in the full wave there. Okay, so what we're looking for now is almost like a move into any of these areas. Okay, so which one's which? I mean, you've got a whole huge box here. You've got another entry here. What if this just comes into this box, bounces about a bit, carries on down to this level, bounces about a bit, and just continues down? It's just like you're just gonna bring drawdown on everything and stress yourself out. So, you know, I just want to talk about some of these advanced entry formulas that I've kind of kept to myself, because I realise that this is the edge. And look, man, I'm not going to be funny, but this is a game. This is a game which we're all competing, and you know, I get it. So just grasp this concept, okay? Let's say we want to do a 100. So let's say our account is 100%. I'm going to have to try and type this out efficiently. So 100% of our account is 100k, just for ease of explanation. Okay, 100% is 100k, that's our account. So you can practice this on sim. You know, 1% of that is going to be 1k. 1R risk is going to be 1%. Okay, let's keep everything simple here. Okay, look at that now. Look at that. See, if we would have kept that original 20 position size, you'd be absolutely raking it in. You'd be sitting on about 6-7k. Unreal. So 1R risk is 1%. Now, let's say on each trade you're going to risk 5%. And I'm going to keep it simple because I could lose a lot of people here, and you know, this can go very advanced. And what I've been doing is almost learning what are the processes of the high frequency trading. You know, these people are trading thousands of trades every second. How do they do it? I mean, what the hell? They're not doing it the same as how retail traders are doing it. So why can't I learn the you know, theory behind the entry and money management techniques and do this on a, you know, almost like a smaller, slower scale? So 5% is going to be 5k. I may be losing people a bit slow here, but it's a bit more difficult live streaming. I've got my eyes on many things. Okay, so 5% is 5k. Now let's say you're going to risk 5% on a trade maximum, okay? It's not a case of 2% and then, okay, 2% is done, I'm done with that now. We're talking about the max position size I feel comfortable with is 5%. Sorry, losing is 5%. So that's that. So 5%. Right, now let me just pull up the bar chart. Right, okay, let's say price comes down into this area. First of all, I'm just going to say we will place a position here just to make this example very, very clear, okay? We're buying right there, okay? Even though we know that this could come down here, I just want to make this clear. So we're going to buy here. Can I put any text on this? No. So 5k. I'm going to do $500 here. Okay, so we'll just do. So what I'm going to do now is split the 5k. Okay, is 5 max position size. Okay, so that now this 5k, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 5k and almost in my head have a separate account here for this trade. So current trade 5k. Now this equals 100% in my head. Okay, so the $500 is going to be 10%. And I've just entered that in. So I may be losing people here, but there's $500 on the line right here now. So if this comes down to let's do the bottom level. Let's do all the way down here. Okay, this is going to be $500. So what you have to understand is when this trade moves into profit, it's going to be very, very minimal. It's going to be the profit's going to be minimal. So the point is that we're in the market. Okay, we're not worried about, okay, this could be flying up, we're missing out on these profits. We're positioned. If this breaks above, we can start to scale into the trade, okay, into the moves up or the retracements down or what have you. We're at a critical point, 3 black crosses, etc. So we're starting to manage motion and start to scale in, and it's just this example, okay. We're scaled in right at the highest risk area you can enter. So we're in. Now, I'll just move this to the side. As I said, price moves down, or price starts to move down into these levels. Right, it gets to this level. What we're going to do is we're going to scale in at that first level. Now, you can scale in a few different ways, and I just want to talk about what will happen here. So if we scale in exactly the same $500 right there, what's going to happen is the overall position size, you know, you've heard of dollar cost averaging, we're going to be in the middle, right, somewhere around here. So what will happen is you're, oh, okay, it's moving. Okay, I mentally made a note of where I am. Let's go. Okay, so the original position would be here, so we'll just put a line to represent that. So then you're sitting right there, okay, with $1,000 position, okay, which is going to be what, 20% of the original 5k, and we're in at that point, okay. So let's say this mofo carries on down to the 88.6 level, and it's like, okay, we've got this third drive now, let's let's do some damage on this trade. We're in a good point, not right at the top, we're lower end. Let's go. So let's say you're going to do 1,000. So we just dress this up, so I'll change this. Okay, $1,000 right at the 88.6 level. So then your position, because it's double the original, you're going to be 50% between position and 88.6. So I told you it's going to get a bit messy here. So we'll just measure this. So look where you're going to sit. You're going to sit right there. That's okay. So our position then would move from here down to here, and then your 2k in, okay, which equals 2% of your overall. And instead of being right at the top here, you're in at that pretty much lovely box. Okay, you see that box? Okay, now let's say, let's just tidy this up. So let's say this is just dying, collapsing, and it's moved to the lower end of this box. Okay, now we're pulling a good drawdown. Okay, so we're getting to the point where we're like, okay, what the hell's going on here, man? It keeps going. Now we're like, okay, we've got this other opportunity. We've got this big yellow box. This is the last chance. This retracement down into this green box or this red level. This is what we've been waiting for. So we start to load up in these areas, so you can sit tight and wait to see if it goes down all the way, but you can just scale in at these levels. Okay, so what I would suggest is double up again. So we've got 1k here, so if this comes down, we're going to do double the position size, so 2k, pushing up onto that. Still pushing up. I think what it's doing is it's just accumulating those orders at that level. But the thing is, you can't tell with Bitcoin, man. It just has some CPI index from Canada, 6.2%. We're looking for 6.7%. So okay, so let's finish this off. So we've got the final, or let's just say final big entry, 2k. Same again, it's going to be 50% in between, and I'm just keeping this symbol with 50% and doubling the order just to make the example clear. Okay, so then by doing this, you'll pull this down to here with 4k now. So 4k is 4% of your original account and 80% of the trade size. Okay, so let's say we see this then, so from here position is 4k, we've seen this just come down to here then, and then bounce. I know I'm making all this stuff up, but I'm just thinking, okay, we're here now, holding this 4k position, and let's say it moves up into profits, down again into this area. This is where you can add this final 1k in. Okay, so we're holding the final 1k back, or you don't even have to add it in. You can wait till it comes back up into profits. Okay, now remember we had that original position here. We're not going to hold. We're already sitting on a ton of profit as this has come down into the levels that we anticipated. So I hope that's clear. There's also different options that you can do to scale out. So what I'll do is we'll just talk about what to do when we hit some of these targets at the top here. So we've got the main targets up at this point. So we can simply just draw some levels. So there'll be one here. Okay, cool. So as this is coming up, hits this target here, you can scale out $500, for example. Okay. Moves up to this level, you can scale out another $500. Now check this out. So at this point, we've taken $1,000 off the table. Comes down to this level. You can add in 1k, pull the position up, back to 4k, still in profits. You could set a stop loss or another $1,000 take profit, kind of stop loss in profit, and then moving up. Sorry, it's in my head. I know what I'm explaining, but it's a bit hard to visualize. So we've got another $1,000 back in. Okay, not taken out. We've been taken out as this is moving up. So as it moves up, sell limits, bang bang, take profits on a retracement, buy limits in at these levels, and then hopefully we could get those final targets, which is you know, at the higher final targets, that's where you can have them larger take profits. And you know, using math, this is how pretty much, you know, you can mitigate risk. Okay, I mean, when this is going to fall down below this level, this is where you can start to scale out. So if you just bought 5k up here, by the time you get down here, your accounts just smash. But scaling in this way, by the time this gets to the bottom level here, you'd be at around 5k loss, and then you'd be like, right, okay, cool, this trade didn't work out, this trade didn't work out, so you almost have like a very large scope of opportunities that have all basically fell through, and you've lost what you originally said you would lose. Instead of risking 5k, the trade falls through, you decide, okay, let's just look, this is what I'm seeing now, okay, we've got this extra fib, okay, come down, we lost another 5k, we're running a 10k now before everything's gone. So any questions about that, then just fire them over. Matteo, I haven't forgot about you with the Trendmaster. I'm going to get that link over to you in a moment. Anybody else that would like the Trendmaster, just let me know. So we've gone over GBP, gold, gold. Let's just have a quick look at gold. I've got my eyes on gold at the moment. I was looking for a trade up to the top here. It broke down past that level. Come up, retest this almost like intraday trend line. It's looking interesting. I'm looking to take some longs on gold soon. But just keep your eye on that one, guys. Okay, cool. So with that being said, I wish you all the best. Let's get out of this live stream. How do I do it? Cheers.